Formex are one of those brands that sort of tote the line between a micro brand, a major brand, and an independent brand. They've been around for many years and they've been making some really cool watches. Recently they came out with a dive watch, the Reef. I really want to get that watch on the channel. And they also recently came out with a 39mm version of their Essence. That's what I have here today. And it comes in pretty nice packaging. It's just a leather box. It says Formex right there, Swiss watches. And as I mentioned, they're sort of in between a micro brand and maybe an independent brand. They have their own design language and they make very high quality watches, as I mentioned. And this is a COSC certified watch as well. So if you are into that, this is really cool. And it's really not something that most micro brands do. So that's why I sort of don't really consider them a micro brand. This gets a Selita SW200, but it is also a top grade, which again sort of is something that most micro brands don't do. It comes in a leather box. I don't have any of the paperwork that comes with it. This is a reviewer's watch. It does need to go back to the brand. It just has a microfiber cloth in there, and that is really all that came with it. But here it is. As I mentioned, this is the blue dial, and it gets the same treatment that all of the Essence have since they started. That beautiful iridescent sort of sunburst dial on it. Blue, it's textured. There is sort of a brushing to it. So a lot of detail, a lot of work goes into the dials on these Essence watches. You get applied indices and then a date there at 6 o'clock. Really, really beautiful watch. And I've always said that the Essence is sort of a alternative to watches like the Aquaterra from Omega, because it's a really good daily wear. So I just wanted to give you my first impressions of this watch. I'm going to be doing a full review. I'm going to be wearing this watch and doing a full review, but I also wanted to tell you some of the specs and also a little bit of a story about my relationship with the brand in general. And I'll do that in just a moment. So very quickly, it is a true 39mm watch. I actually measured 38.8mm according to my calipers. A 48mm lug to lug if you do measure those end links. If you don't, it's about 45mm lug to lug. And then 10.6mm thick. So a very thin watch. And that is because you're getting an SW200 in here. And as I mentioned, it is a top grade SW200. So that means it is decorated. You're getting blued screws. It is a beautiful movement. And it also gets a custom rotor. So there's a lot of work that goes into this movement. Screwed in case back. You do not get a screwed in crown, but you still get 100 meters of water resistance. And one of the stars of the show, there's two stars of the show really. One of the stars of the show is obviously the case. So this gets like a trick case where the actual case will, as you can see, when you push it, it actually will pop up. It has like a suspension system. There's a spring system in this actual case. It's a two-piece case, and it will actually move. And that is for your comfort on wrist. You actually can bend your wrist and the case will actually move just a little bit and it'll feel really good. And you can take it from me, this is a very comfortable watch. Now the second thing, besides the dial and besides that case, is the bracelet. You get a beautiful flat link bracelet on here, screwed links, and a beautiful double deployant buckle here as well. Now a lot of people dog double deployant buckles, but let me show you something. You get micro adjust. In this little bracelet, you get at least 2mm of micro adjust. So that's on the fly micro adjust that you could do, you know, size it for your wrist, and then you could adjust it accordingly as you actually expand and contract. I think that's pretty damn cool. And as I mentioned, you get screwed links. It's a double deployant, very, very nicely finished. The bracelet itself is pretty much all brushed, and then you have a polished edge. Just a beautiful bracelet, sign there, very, very comfortable. And of course, the sides of the case and the bracelet and everything are brushed, and then you have a beautiful polished edge throughout the whole entire watch. The bezel itself is a combination of polishing and brushing. Everything is very crisp. There are screws right there on the actual bezel itself. Sort of the kind of the design language of this watch. Just a really cool watch from a very, very cool manufacturer. Let me throw it on my wrist, and at the same time, I'll tell you a little bit of a story, sort of my relationship with the brand and watches that I've actually owned from them. So very quickly, let me show you what I have on my wrist. Today, I am wearing my Mito Ocean Star Tribute. Another watch that is pretty awesome with an awesome bracelet. This is a dive watch. but very, very cool. So very, very quickly, I will throw this on my wrist. And you can see I have a 7.5 inch wrist, and this watch just wears really nicely on my 7.5 inch wrist. It's super comfortable, and it looks really, really good. And you can see the light catches the bracelet really, really nice. It's not flashy, but it really does work, and the brushing on here is perfect. It really is a beautiful, beautiful watch. And I like that they've polished all the edges. Again, this is the difference between an independent or a major brand and a micro brand. They've gone the extra mile. It's COSC certified. You have a top grade at a Selita movement, excuse me. Beautiful textured dial, and the dial is perfect. I mean, it's just a really cool watch, in my opinion. It is kind of polarizing. So the style, I mean, it's not for everyone. You have to like this style because it is kind of a weird looking case design. I like it, but some people may not. And I think that the 43mm version, it would be a little bit too big for my wrist. And this 39mm version wears perfectly. It wears like a 39mm, in my opinion. I think it wears exactly like a 39mm. It doesn't wear bigger. It doesn't wear smaller. It's really perfect. So, as I mentioned, I do have a little bit of a history with the brand. I think I've mentioned this a few times on my channel, but it was my father who actually got me into watch collecting. He loved watches. He never really could afford watches. And it was around my 21st birthday, he actually purchased me a watch, and it was a Formex. It was actually a 4-speed. And I've mentioned on the channel before, my father actually has passed away, and something that I've actually shared with him over the years was watch collecting, and I inherited his watches, and I owned a Formex 4-speed. That was a quartz version, but prior to him dying, I actually sold that watch, and I very much regret doing so. And I've actually tried to find that exact same watch a few times, but like I said, I sold it and it's pretty much gone. I've seen a few on eBay here and there, but I would prefer to get the exact same watch. I actually have tried to find the seller who I sold it to through the archives in eBay. I've reached out to eBay, and I wanted to see if I was able to buy that watch back. And I haven't been able to get that, but unfortunately, that's just the case, and it pretty much upsets me when I think about it. And as ironic as it is, when Formex actually agreed to loan me this watch in, I was looking through some of my items in an old drawer, and I actually found this. When I sold that Formex watch, that 4-speed, I didn't sell it with the strap that actually it came on. It came on a bracelet as well, and it came with an extra strap. And I found this strap. And this is the strap that actually, you can see right there, it says Formex 4-speed right there. Ironic, I still have it. And normally, something like this, I would probably just either sell on eBay or throw away. But I'm not going to throw it away, obviously. It's a little bit of that watch that my father got me that is still left over, and I'm pretty sentimental about things, so I will definitely keep this and keep it as a sort of a sentimental little token. But a little bit of an interesting story. I sold that watch because it was a quartz watch. As I was getting more into automatics, and that's kind of the reason why I've always followed Formex. I've always had an affinity for the brand, if you couldn't tell through this review or through this unboxing. I've always really liked the brand, and I'm excited to finally have one on the channel because, like I said, what I did with the one that I actually owned. So very quickly, I'm going to do a quick loom shot, and then we'll wrap up the video. I'm not sure how the loom is on this watch. They use Super Luminova. It is on the hands and indices, but let's check it out, and then we'll wrap up the video. I'm going to be doing a full review of this watch. Pricing on this watch we could talk about really quickly. They run from between $1,000 and $1,400. This is the $1,400 version, so it's like $1,350 or something like that. Because it is COSC certified on a bracelet, you can get them for around $1,000 and under for the ones that are not COSC certified. But then again, you're getting all of the specs, the same exact specs essentially, except for obviously the movement being certified. That's really the only difference, so it depends on if that's important to you. Again, something that you really can't get from a micro brand. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, very quickly, I'm going to do a loom shot, and then we'll wrap up the video. So there you have it. The lume is actually pretty good on here. I guess, you know, that's the reason why they're toting that line between Microbrand and Major Brand. They do put lume on their watches. Microbrands usually do a better job at lume, and here you go. So they did a pretty good job with the lume on here. I think it's very nice. Everything is lume, the hands, the indices, and it's pretty brightly and liberally applied. I didn't charge this watch very, very much, and you can see it's hanging on very, very well. I think it looks really good. I really like this brand. I like what they do. There's something different. They have a little bit of a gimmick with that sort of case cushion deal that they do, but it actually works and it makes the watch a little bit more comfortable, especially when you're expanding. And then you get that little bit of micro adjust. It's a beautiful bracelet. A lot of attention to detail. The applied indices, the dial has texturing and brushing, and it's an iridescent sort of sunburst dial. They do a lot to make the watch worth the money that you're paying for it. So you are paying more money than you would normally pay for a Microbrand, but you're getting a lot more watch for the money, in my opinion. This is far and above better than most Microbrands that you get in on that I've gotten in on this channel. But tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I really want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts about this watch brand in general, Formex? What do you think of the Essence? What do you think of the Essence 39? Tell me in the comments below. I really want to hear from you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel. Please follow me on Instagram. I'll be doing a full review of this watch in the coming weeks. I'll be wearing it, and I definitely want to do a full review. I think it's a pretty damn cool watch, and I think that it will be a very nice wear, but I'll let you guys know because I'll be testing it out. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.